What's going on, guys? It is Battle, and today is an exciting day here on the show because we got a guy that has been on our radar for a very, very long time, and he's gone viral with his memes that everybody likes to share when certain things happen. Let's give it up, everybody, for the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Nic Nemeth is here with us. Nick, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I forgot about all the memes about me. It should have been me. It's sometimes it's other stuff, but it's usually something Rhea is doing, and then everyone goes, "It should have been me," and I get it.
Yes. And
Yeah,
I
that's
want to
fair.
know, because, I mean, at the time, you didn't think anything that was going to happen. Did you ever think that, now looking back on it, that would have been a pivotal moment that a lot of people still talk about that moment, whether it be for that promo or for the meme itself?
I did not at all. I was just trying to find something else that would stand out instead of just me being like, "I've been here for 18 years. Let me fight you again." We needed something better. Something. There's some reason. There's some genuine hatred toward Kofi Kingston, which is practically impossible. By the
Mm-hmm.
way, he's the last baby face in the world that's still full time and never went the other way. So it's impossible to get something on dirt on him, but to have some maniacal change in my brain that everyone is celebrating the guy that I'm better than and then drove me insane. Then it always should have been me getting everything in that Mania moment, Kofi Mania. Oh, it burned me up inside watching him get that opportunity while I was sitting on the bench. So yeah, that perfectly worked out storyline wise, but I did not see it coming that anytime Rhea pinned somebody, people would be throwing that meme in there. But hey, I'm on board.
It's so great because it's like every other thing when you scroll through, it's that meme. But we're here to talk about some fun stuff. Speaking of fun, you've got to defend that TNA World Championship match against Josh Alexander in a 1-hour Ironman match at TNA Emergence live Friday, August 30th on TNA Plus. How do you, I guess, prepare mentally and physically for this kind of a match, and also somebody like Josh Alexander?
That's a great point. It's gonna. I don't know if it sounds cliche or dumb. I prepare that way, the same way I would go. Hey, you have a match with a local guy on Monday, and you go, okay, great. What I do is I don't take vacations. I don't have an off season. I don't taper off my workouts. I work out 7 days a week. And if I miss a day because of flights or being sick or somewhat of an injury that I'm wrestling up from, I make up for two a day the next time. So I don't miss workouts. I don't miss training. I don't miss any opportunity to somehow make myself better. And who knows how this window is going to end. Maybe I'm done wrestling at 46. Maybe I wrestle till I'm 60. You don't know what that window is. But to make it a realistic world champion, I got a few years left to prove that I can do that. So I always want to be in the absolute best shape. I always am. I still have my stamina from St. Ed's wrestling in high school and Kent State in college. I legitimately still have it because there were people that were better than me. But I always found a way, almost always found a way to win matches I shouldn't because I don't get tired, because I feel like the fans pay money to see us fight. And if I'm genuinely a little tired and not doing my job to the fullest, that is on me, and I am wasting their time and their money. So I have always seen it that way, as I am a fighter for hire, and if I can go 99%, that's not good enough for me. So I always have to be able to go 100%. Now, mentally, there will be a little bit of a change because I will start watching bits and pieces of things he's done in the past, because these are his matches. I know his go-tos. I know what he does when he does need a little bit of a breath or a rest or a break, a little breather. And you go, oh, I know he has this tendency to step backwards instead of forwards, or to move to the side or hang onto a rope. And those things are the things that stand out and that make you stand out over someone who's just someone who should be fighting for the world title, because you have to have that ring IQ too. And damn it, you better believe Josh does.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, I mean, he's been in these kind of matches. We've all seen the tape on him with that. I mean, we saw an incredible one with him and Mike Bailey not too long ago, which was incredible, which I'm sure you probably studied that match as well. But there's been a lot of buzz about the resurgence of TNA lately with, of course, TNA working with other companies, this, that, and the other. What do you think it is about TNA that's really capturing the wrestling world's attention again?
First of all, that buzz was there before working with other companies, but yeah, that's a huge part of it right now. And Joe Hendry getting WWE their most liked videos is pretty great for them at the moment. But the really cool thing is, I've said this 15 times, in a world where every roster on every company is busting their ass, we tend to stand out as someone who's all on the same page, all working for the same goal, all going above and beyond to help the brand. No one is being selfish and saying, I need to stand out here, I don't care about it. Like, it's almost an organic coming together of like this rebranding since I showed up in Vegas, since they did the rebrand where everyone's on the same page, behind the scenes. Tommy, Gail, Ariel, everybody is helping us out, and we all have one goal: get 1% bigger audience every single week because of the work we put in, because of the show that we do, because of the experience that we offer to the fans who come live or watch on the TNA Plus app or Access TV. However you see it, when you see it, you go, damn, that's a great show. Because you can complain like, this show has 20 minutes of wrestling every 3 hours. This show has 2 hours and 47 minutes of wrestling every 3 hours. And you go, we try to find that perfect balance of storyline, behind the scenes, character development, and matches that deliver. And this roster kicks so much ass. I'm blown away. Every match that I watch waiting to go, I go, man, everyone is so good. And that's saying where every company has everybody being really good. It really makes me smile seeing how awesome our roster is.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can definitely tell watching the product how much fun you guys are having there, because a lot of our listeners know that I've been there with TNA from day one when it was when it was like day 2 at the Asylum and here in the fairgrounds in Nashville. Like, I was there every Wednesday night, and just seeing how it's changed over the years, and it's getting back to, you know, that prominence where people are talking about it. Everybody, it's you scroll through social media and it's TNA this, TNA that, TNA this. And it's an awesome feeling for sure. And I want to know from your thought perspective, being in that locker room, who's that one person that doesn't get enough recognition, that doesn't get talked about enough, that you're eyeing of like, I want to get in the ring with them and put this title on the line with after you beat Josh Alexander, of course? That's
a great question. I mean, do you have a few? Because what really popped in my head, I was famously someone who was not watching wrestling because I hated what I was doing. So I would famously not watch any wrestling. And then when I started to, before I came to TNA, I was like, oh, Moose, he's some goofball football player. Okay, what's he athletic? Okay, got it. And I got there and was blown away at what this guy puts into every match. So I really thought he was like, he's a bigger guy. He's a football guy. He's athletic. What's he got? And I realized that he, even on off days, is like texting me ideas and things to do just because he loves and wants to be so good at this. So I love that. I mean, Joe Henry's doing stuff all over the world that is standing out and getting the biggest impressions. And that is someone where no matter what situation he's in, if there's a chance for him to get a title shot, I feel like that would be a huge moment for TNA, because I think that gets the views up, that gets people talking about it, that extra buzz about it. Like, is this guy going to become champion? Can he be champion? And things like that are really cool. ABC I wrestled with, those guys are freaking awesome. I'm trying to think, can you throw anybody off the top of your head?
I can actually tell you, recent guest of the show, Mike Santana, had a lot to say when it came to you and your title, because he said after he gets done with dealing with the system, he said he's kind of eyeing that gold. And
by the way, when he said that, there's 30 other guys in the locker room that all said, when I get through with the system, I'm coming after that title. And it's not to say that that's not true. It's very true. And then everybody I was in the 6-man match with was like, I'm coming after that title. I'm like, great. Everyone's coming for me. I love it. I live for it. But Santana's, man, that's a cool story, because we got to find his like real life story. We interviewed him on Busted Open on Sirius XM. And man, he got into like some changes he made in his life, his family, and I go, man, how in the world are you not rooting for this guy? He came back to TNA, and he looked like he was in the best shape of his life. I'm legit rooting for this guy until he gets in my face, and I have to hold that title up, and I go, hey, listen, I'm going to go through hell to hang on to this, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's going to be a fun match, definitely, for sure. After you deal with Josh Alexander and you retain that title.
And deal with Josh Alexander. It's an Iron Man match with a guy whose thing is doing Iron Mans, while I'm here going, hey, listen, 20 years ago, I was ready to go. Like, I'm nervous about it, but mostly it's going to be mental focus. And actually, I'm going to do that St. Ed's wrestling thing to where you actually taper off a little bit of the cardio leading up to the next 3 days to keep that body fresh, get into a couple ice baths, get rejuvenated, have those legs ready to go, and be ready to absolutely deliver a effing masterpiece.
That's going to be definitely fun to watch. TNA Emergence live Friday, August 30th on TNA Plus. Now, it seems like here recently, you look at it, everyone wants to work with TNA. And TNA has no problem with working with everyone else. Something that we thought we'd never see, of course, is this TNA and WWE working together, because we never thought that that would happen of WWE working with other people. Having being there in WWE and now in TNA, what's it like seeing these companies work together, like now that people thought never would happen?
I think, one, if it wasn't beneficial to both sides, no one would be doing it. So when you have a world where, for the longest time, where WWE was kind of the only big show in town on television, and some people were, it was hard to find TNA on some channels, and there was, there wasn't the same night, it wasn't a big deal, there was no challenges, but having multiple companies doing really well business-wise, but more importantly, behind the scenes, setting up an infrastructure that will be long-term beneficial business-wise, to have that and have everyone working together. And it goes, wrestling fans, sure, if you're going to count Twitter, that people, just like crazy people in politics, will be going nuts on one side or for a team, and you have a team and you have to like defend them, which makes no sense. But instead, a lot of people don't realize, like, we're all wrestling somewhere. We're not like, screw WWE or screw AEW. Like, some of my best friends are at all the companies. So we all, and the fact that those other companies exist makes it so much better for us when it comes to negotiations or wanting to get out of a deal or wanting to go fight somebody somewhere else. Like, having those options makes the business better. So then having them teams work together, it just goes to show you that, like, you don't need to root for a team. Just watch wrestling and enjoy it. And it's one of the best moments there is right now, talent-wise, TV moments. To, like, you can watch wrestling every night if you want to, and some of us need a break, like myself, but you could watch it every single night because wrestling is hot, wrestling is great, and no matter who the people are, if you take your tribalism away, you realize that you are in this like boom period of absolute professional wrestling, to where everybody is good, everybody is a Renaissance man or woman, everybody can deliver any night, and we are spoiled and very lucky to have that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, I mean, it is a great time to be a wrestling fan. I mean, I think back to when I was growing up, you only had two when there was there. And then you had, of course, the territories and whatnot. But now it's like you said, wrestling every night. I'm watching my 7-year-old who is getting into wrestling just like I did. And he's watching wrestling every night. He's got the figures. He's got the ring. Right. He's creating his own little federations in his room. So it's an awesome thing, especially for wrestling fans. And, I got to ask, and you've probably been asked this a million times. You probably talked about it on Busted Open as well. But if that call comes calling, do you want to defend that TNA title to somebody on the NXT roster?
NXT, I have no interest. I've done that already. I was already like, what's the payoff? I don't become NXT champion like I already did 2 years ago, or like if there's a payoff for the company to have a bit, like, hey, we're bringing in our world champ, and it's going to be something special, and I am all ears to help both companies make it just one notch bigger and better. And there really is something that, like, as the world champ, I could show up and it would be a big deal, I hope. And so, but right now for me, unfinished business in NXT, or something that would just me showing up to do something, I don't know what the payoff would be. But also someone on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown making a challenge, that would be different. Someone I haven't worked with. I was in NXT for a while. I was champion, and I worked with Braun Breaker, which, man, the kid's friggin' awesome. But I don't know what I can accomplish there. If there is any algorithm or business paperwork or data that says, hey, this is going to be huge if you show up, let's make it happen, 100% I will be there. But also, the more I talk down and say I'm not going, it makes it a bigger surprise when I show up. So. Oh,
absolutely. And then, of course, the internet will be talking about it, and then they'll be sharing it should have been me memes.
It should have been me memes, yes. With Joe Henry's face. And it's like, he's already there. Everybody relax. Yeah.
So real quick, I know we don't have much time left, and we always like to have a little fun at the end of the show. We like to turn to our robot intern, which is ChatGPT, and we let them ask a question.
Oh, wow.
ChatGPT wants to know, if you could only watch one movie on repeat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Caddyshack. Big Chevy Chase guy. I'm very torn on Fletch, Caddyshack, and National Lampoon's Vacation. because I'm a Chevy guy. But Caddyshack is great. My friends and I we still quote it in group chats now, 50 years later. So good. So many guys that I love. Bill Murray, Dangerfield, friggin' awesome. The movie's great, and I don't even like golf at all. It makes it even better because I hate golf because it should be simple, but it's really hard, and I don't care for it. So
yeah, it's one of those things like I'll be fine just watching it over here, and then golf's not my thing either. Real quick before we let you go, I know you got to hop off. Anything you want to say to people watching or listening to this right now?
I am very lucky to be working with TNA. I'm happy to be the flag-bearing absolute ambassador world champ right now. The stuff that we've done so far is freaking awesome, and there's only so much better to come. The more people watch, the more people talk about it, the more the ball keeps rolling downhill, and we are killing it. And I think more and more everyone's going to be talking about this is the place to be. The roster rules, the show rocks, the stories are there. Come challenge me because I'll be here as the champ.